I'm so excited and also very nervous. I'm going on my first cruise. The cruise I'm going on is for 8 days, 7 nights with MSC, and it leaves here in Marseille. On this cruise, I'm going to check out everything on the boat, from the pools, the bars, the restaurants, take you for a tour of my cabin. I will even show you some of the features of the boat that aren't great for people with disabilities. Tomorrow we go to Barcelona. After that we go to Tunisia. We go to Palermo, which is the stop that I'm most excited about. I have arrived in Palermo. Then we head on to Naples in Italy. Our final day is in Florence. So come with me on my first sea voyage and let's go sail the world together. All right, checking in. Wish me luck, here we go. Thank you. Perfect, merci. Thank you. So that was the check-in process. I was given no information, no nothing. It's more like they gave me a ticket number, which I have no idea what this means, but number 47. About to go to another check-in counter. So I got this, and this is my passport. I'll just let you know as well, when I went to check in, it sent me an email at midnight, and then I woke up to check in and it said I can't check in, it's too late. I couldn't get a boarding pass because when I went online to check in, it said I can't check in. So it didn't let me. Merci beaucoup. It's my welcome letter.
Go downstairs,
Yeah.
and then I'll be there.
Okay, merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Just take the elevator. I will wait for you downstairs.
Merci beaucoup. Back in the elevator again and going back to where I started from. Doesn't seem like they know their system for wheelchair users that well. Merci. I think that means I go with this security guy. Merci beaucoup. Now that I've gone through security, I've got no instructions on where to go, what to do. I don't even know my room number. They've told me nothing. So I'm just going to try to follow the people that are just walking and hopefully they'll head to the right direction. So this is the boat. This is the boat that I'll be spending 7 days on. It's pretty big, and there's a guy just over here who looks like he's spray painting it, just giving it a fresh coat of paint. But yeah, the boat is enormous. So I'm actually going on a walkway in between two boats. On the right of me is MSC Cruises, and to the left of me is Virgin Cruises. Which is better, MSC Cruises or Virgin Cruises? So here's the entrance, which is a staircase. But lucky for me, there's a ramp.
Very nice.
Wow, it's a steep ramp, huh? Crazy. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, it's a steep one. It's getting steeper. Oh,
Yes.
that one?
Only this one, yeah?
Okay, cool.
Yes, welcome aboard.
Thank
Do
you.
you need any assistance?
I called up and they said there's an accessible cabin, so it'll be accessible, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
Good at you?
Very good, thank you.
This is a location of your cruise card.
Okay,
You
great.
will proceed to your room
Okay.
to take your cruise card
Yeah,
and make sure that the name is relevant, is the same.
okay.
Welcome on board.
Merci beaucoup. So now I'm off to find my room.
Hello.
Hi,
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
65?
Yeah,
All right. I will open for you the cabin.
thank you.
Okay. I will leave the door like this.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, this is not what I look.
You can fit it in here. I think so. You think so?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. It's a disaster. It is not fine. This is absolutely not fine. I've made it in the room and it's a disaster. Like, I expected a small room, but this is the tiniest bunk room that I've ever seen. You can tell it's a adjoining room. There's a door there that goes to another room. Like, there's actually a bit of room to move through to the balcony, which is great, but it's a single bed. And the bathroom is not usable at all. There's a step this big to get in, and then there's a bathtub with a step this big to get in, and then there's a glass petition, which is this narrow, so there's no way to get in the bathroom and shower at all. When I was on the phone to the agent who said, "No, the room will be fine, you'll be fine, it's fine for wheelchairs." It is not fine. This is absolutely not fine. So I'm gonna go for a roll now to guest services on level 5 and have a chat with them. Door to get into the room is also extremely heavy, and there's also a lip to actually get into the room. And where they've positioned me is right at the very end of the hallway. Like literally you could not get a room further away from the lips. So it looks like I found guest services. It's the reception guest services over here. I got a bit of a problem with my room, and it's not accessible.
It's not accessible.
No. The room that I've got into has a bunk bed, and it has a step to get into the bathroom, and in a bathtub. It's almost impossible to even enter the room, let alone use the bathroom facilities. And obviously it's a bit stressful.
Let me double check something.
Does this happen often?
No, the thing is, you booked your cruise 3 weeks ago.
So what happened is as soon as I booked it, within 24 hours, less than that, I sent the form. Because the website says as soon as you make a booking, send the form. So I did it straight away. And I didn't hear back for a week. And I kept calling and emailing and emailing. But I had my colleague to contact the cruise terminal, and they confirmed that the form's been received.
We are going to send a letter for all these cabins. The one who want to leave their cabins, because we have some guests that
Probably don't need them. Yeah.
I cannot guarantee anything right now, but we are going to do the necessary to get you these cabins. As soon as we get any information, we are going to contact you by message, by phone. We'll let you know.
Okay, cool. No worries. Thank you so much. I appreciate your efforts.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So the lovely people at the guest services were very helpful. They're going to look at the people that are in the accessible rooms. And if there's anyone that's in an accessible room that doesn't need to be or shouldn't be an accessible room, we're going to ask them kindly if they would move. So who knows, see what will happen, but it's definitely going to be interesting or difficult to spend 8 days in a boat with a bathroom that I can't use. Oh, and the hallways are so long. So I've just come back from reception and things are not looking good for getting a room which has a bit more of an accessible setup. They did show me a room, but the room they showed me has a bed where you cannot wheel on either side of the bed, and the bathroom is in a worse position than this one here. So, and usually I can manage okay with a room that's not completely accessible, but turns out on the boat, probably not. So I just went and spoke to the people at the reception to see if they could help me out. Actually, one of the staff members said to me, well, maybe you can use the public facilities if you needed to go to the bathroom. I said to him, how would you feel being on a cruise for 8 days and having to go use a public toilet to go to a... And he agreed. He said, yeah, good point. So the big problem is that people get booked these rooms from travel agents, and people often get these rooms that don't have disabilities. But yeah, look, this is definitely a learning experience, but it just shows that I think there needs to be more inclusive ways for people with disabilities to book cruises. Like I looked on the map of this cruise ship and it doesn't even have that many accessible rooms. Considering about 20% of the world's population has disabilities, wouldn't it make sense that 20% of the rooms on a hotel or a cruise ship also have accessible rooms? At this stage, I'm pretty frustrated and upset. I'm going to try to order some food and go to bed. And then hopefully tomorrow I wake up feeling fresh, and hopefully I can find a way to enjoy this trip. But I might also just get off the boat at Barcelona and just cancel the rest of the cruise and maybe find a way back to Marseille on a train or something. So anyway, I'm going to sleep on it and see how I feel in the morning. Good night. I woke up after my first night sleeping on the boat. It was an interesting ride. I'm 6 foot tall and this bed is made for someone that's 5 foot. Rough sleep, to say the least. I'm going to put on my gym clothes and sweat it out, and hopefully that puts me in a better mood. Hopefully today's going to be a good day. One thing I found quite challenging so far on this boat is, number one, it's full, it's capacity. So when I went out yesterday, there's just so many people around everywhere, screaming, kids everywhere. So hopefully leaving my room at 6:15 in the morning means there's less people so that I get to actually enjoy the boat for a bit. I just finished my workout from the gym and it was a pretty good gym and I enjoyed the workout, but it was interesting though because they've got matting that's underneath the benches and it looks like someone just went to the hardware store and bought the cheapest, crappiest matting that they could and slapped it down there. And I even saw bolts that are coming off windows. So for a boat that's supposed to be spanking brand new and this luxurious experience, when you look a little bit closer, it definitely doesn't look as luxurious. The boat's also really worn out in the carpet in the main areas. It's pretty gross, it stinks. And the other thing is that just outside my room is the smoking area for staff. So every time I come in and out of my room, it stinks of cigarettes. Coming in before, it just made me want to vomit. So imagine being stuck on a boat for 8 days, having your room smelling like cigarettes because the staff are smoking just outside your door. Go on a cruise, they said. It would be fun, they said. I have found the solution to my inaccessible bathroom situation. It's not the most ideal solution. In the gym, they've got a change room and they've actually got a roll-in accessible shower. Wish me luck. Even the public wheelchair accessible shower is not even accessible. The soap dispenser is all the way up there. Even the shower head's all the way up there. I feel like everything around here is breaking down. Even the hairdryer is held together with sticky tape. And even the shower chair, it's here, but the shower's over here and the handrail is over here. So even the public shower, accessible public shower is not even properly accessible, which makes me think that MSC just doesn't give a shit about people with disabilities. Do you think MSC gives a shit about people with disabilities? It's time to actually have some fun and try to enjoy this cruise. The boat has docked now in Barcelona and I've decided that I'm not going to get off the boat. Everyone's going out and exploring for the day, which means I can go and enjoy the pool and everything the boat has to offer without crowds of people. And I'll take you for a tour and show you everything around the boat. Let's go check it out. On level 5, there's a huge buffet. It's enormous. It literally takes up the entire level. And they've got lots of food there, from desserts, salads. They've even got vegetarian food, seafood, pizza, pasta, any food that you can think of, they've got. Even on a quiet day, the buffet area is still crazy busy. I got myself a piece of vegetarian pizza and some chicken. Really good. At the buffet area, there's also these wash stations. There's quite a few of them everywhere. None of them are accessible. They're all really, really high and there's nowhere to actually wheel under. You would think they'd have at least one here for wheelchair users, but none. And now we're here to check out deck number 16. I love this room. It feels like I'm back in Tokyo. Look what I found. I found the bowling alley, but sadly there's steps to get in, so they don't want people with disabilities and wheelchair users to go bowling. I mean, look, it makes sense. If you've seen me with a bowling ball, you wouldn't want me to bowl here either. There's also a running track that goes all the way around this deck, so for those that can run, you can run around, but Also really great for wheelchair users because if you want to get your pushers in, it's great exercise. I've arrived on deck 18. Let's go check out the Sky Lounge. Now this is my favorite lounge. It's adults only and it is beautiful. It's the only space in the boat where it's literally pretty much almost empty. And just next to the kids' play section is my favorite section of the entire cruise ship so far. It's the nightclub. This is the dance floor. I'll definitely be hitting this dance floor one night. Something you probably don't know about me is I used to be a DJ when I grew up. DJ Shane in the house! And behind me is Attic Bar. And the problem with the bars around on the cruise is they're all fixed stools. So no drinking at the bar for you if you're in a wheelchair, unless you're happy to be 1.5 meters away from the bar. I'm now on my way to deck 19, which is actually the highest level that I can go with these current lifts. I've just done a full lap around the pool and there is no wheelchair access or ramp access into the pool whatsoever. There's a huge ledge, it's about 1/2 meter high that goes all the way around the pool. Each of the entry points has about 4 stairs to get up and 3 stairs to get down. So if you're a wheelchair user and you want to go and enjoy the pool, well, you can't. Unless you can walk and walk over steps, you're not going in there. You would think that there'd be plenty of space to put a ramp in, but no ramp. One more pool left that I haven't checked out and I'm crossing my fingers that this one's accessible, hoping that there's wheelchair access or a ramp. I'm looking at the pool now. Bong bong, steps everywhere. What's a shock and also very disappointing is that none of the pools, none of the spas, none of them are accessible here on this boat. You would think that at least one of them would have a ramp or non-step free access, but none of them at all. And what's also really crazy is that this is a new boat. And how is it that they're building cruise ships for thousands of people? Having that 20% of the population has disabilities, I feel like the cruise industry might need a little bit of a shake-up. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Okay, so look, I have some good news. I just received a phone call from the guest services. Someone that was checking into an accessible room that didn't need an accessible room, they've moved into another room. There's an accessible room that's now available tonight. So I'm relieved because I can enjoy the rest of the trip in a room designed and built for a person with disability. But it means that I don't have to go to the gym and use the public showers to shower every day and night. So I'm so happy and so relieved that there is an option. This hasn't been a very good experience so far, but I'm so excited. I'm about to go to an accessible room and wish me luck. Well, goodbye Barcelona. We're heading off now. We're about to hit the ocean again. And it's nice because at the back of the boat, I get to see Barcelona from my window. I've just been given the keys to the accessible room that I've now just moved into. Wow, the difference to be in a room that's made for a person with disability is out of this world. And it's an accessible bathroom, which is great. I can roll into the bathroom. You got no idea how happy this makes me. And there's a sink that I can fit under. I mean, the shower is up really high, so you can't really reach it. But apart from that, the room is great. It's not 300 meters from the lift, and there's space to just wheel up and roll to the side of the bed to transfer to bed. The desk doesn't have clearance underneath it, so every time you wheel under it, you just bang your legs. But look, hey, you know what? I'm here on the boat for another 6 nights, so to have a room where I can actually use the bathroom and shower is just, you got no idea. Anyway, super happy. I can even turn around in my wheelchair. So this is the ramp to get down to enter the area, and as you can see, it is a death ramp. We've just arrived in Tunisia and I'm going to go sort out how I'm going to get off the boat and explore Tunisia. Everyone is very frantic on the boat today. They're all rushing to their meeting points so that they can get off the boat and onto the buses. There's so many buses lined up, ready to take people right into the heart of Tunisia. But not one of them is equipped for transporting people in wheelchairs or people with disabilities. The next option is to organise a private driver and a private car, which is about 420 Australian dollars to go see Tunisia. So the only way that I can be able to get off the boat and explore this city is to pay for a private driver, which is really disappointing considering that the cruise company has organised so many buses and not one of them is equipped for a wheelchair user. I just went through the passport control and they didn't even look at my passport. Yeah, I think anyone can get here in Tunisia. The pathways leaving the port are really, really bad. As soon as you leave the terminal, there's a crossing with absolutely no ramp and no curb cut. Can you give me a hand up here? So you just need to grab the back bar. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. So this is the van that I'm going out with today. And you know, for 450 Australian dollars, you would expect something a little bit nicer than this. Abdullah's running around looking for 7 other passengers.
They told me that you were 8.
I'm just one person, Abdul.
Okay, fine.
One of the things that I'm really excited about is the bazaar. I love going to a market and looking at stuff to buy. One of my favourite hobbies of all is shopping. Let's go do the day. We are in the Casbah, not to be confused with Casper, the friendly ghost.
Ministry of Cultural Affairs.
So this is the ramp to get down to enter the area, and as you can see, it is a death ramp. Wow.
Go this way.
I've just got through my first roadblock. The ramp access was covered up with a big fence, and the police officers here guarding this area were very reluctant to removing the barrier. But thankfully they agreed to remove the barrier, which allowed me to roll in. But it just shows that there's literally no one with disabilities coming here. So, and I've only been in Tunisia for like 5 minutes. Oh my God. Hello, kitty. So I'm about to have my first Turkish coffee here in Tunisia. I'm just really hoping that I don't get bum wheeze from it, so wish me luck. Hot, delicious, a little bit dishwatery, but good. Cheers. I've just spotted my first visually impaired person so far in Tunisia, but it must be very challenging getting around this city being blind. The footpaths are very uneven and the roads are not straight either, so navigating would be very tricky. Can I change some money, please? I have Australian dollars, is that okay? Yeah. I'm far away from home. Yeah, there you go. What's the name of the currency?
Dinar.
Dinar.
D-I-N-A-R.
Dinar. Okay. It's like if you're hungry and you want to have dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner. So I'm about to get some money changed. I have no idea what the exchange rate is, but this place looks pretty legitimate. So let's see what happens.
Do you have euro?
Euros.
Well, I've only got Aussie dollars, so Australian.
Just only that?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We'll go somewhere else.
that's right. So is there a machine here?
Yes, there is a machine.
Yeah, of course.
Somewhere.
Outside on the left.
Turns out my money is no good here in Tunisia. So I've got to go find an ATM machine. So get some cashola. So I've arrived at the ATM machine and it's up this horrendously high step. So yeah, it's very difficult to get cash out. Good way of keeping people with disabilities out of the bank. Managed to get some money out of the ATM machine, but it was definitely very tricky. But you have two languages to choose from. You can either speak the local language or French. But using French, I managed to work out what we're saying on the machine. The commission was surprisingly high as well, but I've got some Tunisian dinar cash and I'm ready to go shopping.
Hello. Hello. Can you evacuate, please?
Oh, sorry, merci.
Sorry for that.
Pardon.
Can you evacuate, please?
Pardon. The market here is intense, to say the least. It's so inaccessible. Absolutely every shop has steps to get in.
Hi.
Thank you. I've made it into my first shop, which of course has a step to get in, but it's quite beautiful. There's plates, clothes, beautiful little leather wallets, wooden carvings. There's such lovely things here, and it's quite nice in this one here because for some reason it's not full of people. So I just managed to find my first bathroom, which only had one step here and another step at the actual entrance of the toilet, but they definitely weren't very clean. There was a turd sitting in the toilet bowl. I don't think there actually is any accessible bathrooms in Tunisia, but you're very lucky if you can find a bathroom that has only one or two steps. I hope things get better, but on this trajectory, I'm not sure. It was time to head back to my private van, and I was not prepared for what I was about to witness. Excuse me, can you let them know that I've got a private van, so if they want to come with me, they can?
If you like.
I don't know what language you speak.
They're going to go somewhere else.
Just let them know, because this is not right. Can you help him, help her?
Yes.
Oi, can someone explain to him that I have a private van, he can come with me?
He has got a private van.
What does he speak?
Spanish. No, I don't speak Spanish.
My van fits 8 more people. It's empty. You can bring your family.
Okay, me lo tengo que esperar.
Yeah. You come with me, get the van, they're coming with me. This is really messed up. It's like 40 degrees in this heat. It's disgusting. And the bus is not accessible. And I feel disgusted and angry at this cruise company that they would allow people with disabilities to come on these tours that are not appropriate for people with disabilities. Anyway, I'm lost for words and I'm so angry right now. And I hope that MSC see this video and sort their shit out, because this is disgraceful. One thing that I'm also surprised about is the amount of people on the buses. There are so many people. So 108,000 euro of income of tickets sold today for people just to go and enjoy the city. And to buy a bus with a lift in it, new, is less than 100,000 euro. So when you think about how much money these companies and the cruise ship behind me are making, do you think it'd be worth the investment for them to buy just one accessible van or bus? Saying that people with disabilities struggle really broke my heart. You know, they don't want to be left behind on the ship. They want to get off the boat and enjoy the adventure. But they can't do that unless they can get on the bus and go see the city like everyone else. So if you're a cruise ship or MSC, or you own one of these bus companies, I ask and I plead with you, make the investment and just buy one van, one bus for people with disabilities, so we can safely go out and do these adventures and spend the day exploring these beautiful cities. We've arrived at the seaside town, Sidi, and I'm just looking out my window, and one thing I notice is that there is literally no curb cuts. So it's going to be wheeling on the road for me The seaside town is probably the most popular beach area in northern Tunisia. It's busy. There are so many people everywhere. So we're about to get out. We're about to be dropped off by our driver, and then we're going to wheel around for half an hour and explore. It's really beautiful. You can see the white buildings with all the blue windows, and tourists absolutely everywhere, and people asking you to come into their shops to buy things. But it's great if you don't mind the hill. We managed to make it into Blue Cafe, and the menu looks amazing. I'm definitely going to smash a sandwich. Just getting back into the van, then I noticed there's a heap of people waiting to get on their bus, standing out in the heat, and it is hot. It's probably like 35 to 40 degrees right now. It is stinking. As much as it's nice looking around the markets are full on. This is the bathroom at the Tunisia cruise terminal. It actually is not an accessible bathroom at all. It's just a tiny little toilet cubicle, and I can only just fit my chair in. It's going to take a 5-point turn to get out of this bathroom. Well, I finished my Tunisian day adventure, and it's just after 1 o'clock. I'm back here ready to go on the boat again. What was it like getting around with a disability? Well, first of all, I just had to say that spending €250, 420 Australian dollars on a 4-hour tour, you would expect to have a van that's comfortable. The van did sound like it was about to break down at any time, and whenever he applied the brakes, you could tell the brakes were not in a healthy situation. Getting around the market was very, very difficult because the hills are steep, the footpaths are not great. It was also very difficult finding accessible bathrooms, and the bathrooms that I did find also very dirty. Going out on a 4-hour adventure, I'd expect to actually see some iconic things of Tunisia, but all I saw was markets, and had some lunch. So spending all that money and just doing that is not really the greatest thing. How would I rate Tunisia for people with disabilities? Well, 0 out of 5 stars. Unfortunately, Tunisia is not great in the northern part for getting around with a disability, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it for any wheelchair user unless you are brave and have a lot of help. I have arrived in Palermo. I've been told it's beautiful and luxurious by some people, and I've been told it's a dump by other people. But I've got my Pico Power Assist on the front of my chair so I can get around easily, and I'm just going to see how much I can see in one day. One of the first great things I've just noticed about this city is that all the taxis are vans. What that means is that they can fit lots of people, but they can also fit wheelchair users, and you can put your wheelchair in the back. One thing that is a bit annoying about leaving the port though is that all the taxi drivers are trying to get you to book their taxi. So that part's a bit annoying, but I broke the barrier and wheeled along the road so I didn't have to get harassed. I worked out real quick that you can't use the footpaths and they have no curb cuts. So I am riding on the road. I'm very glad that I have worn my bright yellow t-shirt to help make me more visible. The traffic here is really bad, which means it goes real slow. So it makes it a little bit safer rolling on the road. There's a swimming pool, it's about 3 kilometers away. So I'm rolling there now, and I'm just gonna hope that it's open and also accessible. It's quite a dirty, grimy area, but it is really cute, seeing all these little balconies and everyone's up there gardening and chatting to each other. The streets are also very, very dirty. There is so much rubbish everywhere, I mean everywhere. And being so close to the port, as we know, it only takes a storm, and guess what? Everything's in the ocean. This city is really beautiful, but very run down, which I actually think is part of its charm. I have arrived at Palermo Municipal Swimming Pool, and it's the only major swimming pool in Palermo. And guess what? It's closed. According to Google, it's open right now. I looked at 2 websites and both of them came up saying now open. So it shows that even if you do your research, go on Google, look on the website, you can still be met with closed gates and closed businesses. Okay, according to Google, there's another swimming pool in this town and it's 1.5 kilometers away. I'm on my way there now. Hopefully this one's open. I don't think I'm gonna have any teeth left by the time I get there. I've arrived at the swimming pool, but there looks like there's a lift. Oh my god, the lift works. Actually looks like a hospital. Hi, come to swim?
Yes, closed.
It's closed, the pool.
Yeah.
So if community wants to come and swim, they can't swim. Really? All right, thank you so much. Wow, so I did find the swimming pool, which looked more like a hospital, and there was 6 staff there. They said to me the pool's closed. And right now it's like the middle of summer, it's 35 degrees. It is hot, and people should be able to go to the pool and swim and cool off. It's ridiculous. I feel so much better when I get to swim, and I feel quite sluggish at the moment because I haven't been able to swim for a while. So yeah, Palermo City Council, if you're watching this video, please sort out your pools. I'm on my way to my first attraction and it's called Parco della Farita, and it looks beautiful, big, open. So Google Maps wants me to come down this way. It's terrifying. It literally looks like a set of a horror movie. And the park, which is just here, is closed. I mean, how do you even close a park? The gates are shut. I feel like nothing is open to anyone here. I somehow randomly just ended up rolling into horse stables. You can't get much more bizarre than that. I am blown away, but guess what? I found my first accessible bathroom and it's great. It's got handrails, DDA compliant, little wheel under section. It's not huge, but it's accessible. I do really wonder what the story of Palermo is. It looks like it used to be a beautiful city. In the 70s and 80s, potentially this place absolutely flourished. But it looks like in the last 40 years, everyone just packed up and left. And it's just so run down and so much rubbish everywhere. I'm so glad though that I did get to have some pasta whilst I was here. Oh, I think I'm gonna need a bigger wheelchair. It'll be amazing to see this city come alive again. Maybe bring it back to its former glory, if it ever did know glory. Goodbye, Palermo. I would like to say see you next time, but I just have a feeling this will be our last time. I really don't know if I'm gonna be back unless you clean up your streets and fix your footpaths. I have just arrived in Naples and I have just rolled off the boat, and the first thing I experienced and spotted, cobblestones. So I have a feeling that this will set the tone for what Naples will be. More cobblestones, old footpaths, and bumpy roads. Let's go explore Naples. And the thing I'm most excited about is pizza. The guy working there, directing people, he's sending everyone upstairs to the exit. Then he pointed me to go that way and now this way. So he's pointing me to go on the road. That way. What's that? Oh, no, thank you. Thank you so much. As soon as you exit the main entry to the port, you are then bombarded by heaps of people trying to get you to book their taxi and their driver. And as soon as you do leave the port, all of a sudden, curb cuts become a thing of the past. This one side of the road has a curb cut, but the other side of the road here does not. What better way to say welcome to Naples than a big step to enter your first footpath? I very quickly worked out that the footpaths are very, very bumpy. I went on it just for a short distance before and I was like, felt like I was gonna break my teeth. Looks like I'm resorting to using the road again. It's definitely going to be a very challenging and bumpy day, for sure. I've reached the end of this beautiful, accessible footpath and the tactile indicators all head to where I am right now. And you've guessed it, here's a step, a very, very big step. Hey Siri, what is the weather in Naples today? The temperature today in Naples is 36 degrees. So it's going to be a hot day. Or in Australia, as we call it, it's going to be a stinker. Behind me are boats that you can charter. So you can actually rent a yacht and get a skipper and go and explore the Mediterranean for a day, a week, a month. So yeah, you just pay for these boats and rent them and off you go. At least there'll be no screaming children on those boats. The footpaths here are horrendous, like literally horrendous. They're massive blue stones and it's so bumpy, and I'm lucky I brought my power assist with my front wheel because it definitely makes it easier. But if I was just in my manual wheelchair on my own, there's no way I could do this footpath. Be warned that if you are coming to Naples and you're using the footpaths, they are not great for wheelchair users. So bring a power assist or a third wheel that sticks on the front just to help you over the huge stones, blue stones, cobblestones. But it is beautiful. I've just now reached the end of the path and I've hit the water again, and it is just glorious. And there's a whole bunch of grey-headed people in the water having an amazing time swimming and enjoying the beautiful ocean. In some parts of the roads, they've actually got crossings with curb cuts, smooth transitions. They're not everywhere, but they do look brand new, which is great. It shows that Naples is taking steps to improve wheelchair access so people can at least safely cross the road. Nice job, Naples. Keep up the good work. The square here is huge and beautiful, and they're getting set up for a concert. And you can see here that they've brought in accessible bathrooms, or bathrooms in general, which I'd love to use one. However, it's very fenced off at the moment. But you know what? I'm going to see if I can. There's a little gap in here. I'm going to see if I can get through. There will be a security guard here for sure that's going to be like, you can't use the toilet. I love these. They're public bathrooms. Portable, but public. And they're rare. I'm actually going to get my camera out and take a photo. Well, no one's told me off yet. And it's definitely the cleanest public toilets I've seen in weeks. I think these are a really good idea. If you don't have enough public bathrooms, just hire them. I mean, that just makes sense. I'm about to enter the Royal Palace of Naples, and the entrance is accessible. You can just literally roll on through, and it's €15, I believe, according to the website, to get in. But I'm going to see if I can get a ticket and see how much of it I can explore. There's a sign here with an arrow for wheelchair users, so I'm going to head this way. I've hit a screening point and whoop, just made a clicking sound, but nothing opened. It's just flashing red. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Do you have a ticket?
No.
Allora, the first ticket office.
Where's that?
In the center, the courtyard.
In the center of the courtyard.
Okay, exit left.
Exit and then left.
Okay.
Grazie. When you arrive here, thank you, ignore the signs and the arrows because they're wrong. Where it points you to go is not where you need to go. You need to go through the courtyard. Buongiorno. Ticket. Buongiorno. I only speak English. Sorry.
You are alone or you are with someone else?
I'm all by myself. All by myself. Yeah. You know the one? Yeah. Can you sing it? Thank you. Perfect. All right, grazie. Thank you so much. Here comes a ramp. Get her on up. Beep, beep, beep. I have a ticket.
Solo scansione.
Oh, I don't speak English. I'm so sorry.
Scan the ticket.
Ah,
Only scan.
Scan the ticket.
Okay. For lift, the entrance is another part.
Okay. So the part I've been instructed to enter doesn't have the lift. Yeah, okay. So now that I'm finally in the area where he told me to go, there's nowhere to go. Do you know why? Because it's a massive staircase. Check it out. So I need to now leave here and go somewhere else to use the lift. That doesn't make sense. And this is as far as I can go. It is pretty beautiful though.
The door.
Yeah.
In the corner.
Yeah.
There is a lift.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh my God. These doors have just opened and then have just shut on me.
Sì, senti, ti volevo dire se sta prendendo un signore con la carrozzina e per l'ascensore. Sì, te lo sto mandando, ok?
Oh my God. That's so bad. I am stuck.
Dietro.
What does that mean?
Back.
My God, someone's gonna get their leg cut off. You want me to go through? through. One thing I don't understand is if people with disabilities get a free ticket, then why do you need to go get a ticket? So arriving then, I went to enter through the exit and he says get a ticket, and I get a ticket, and then I go back to the entry. I have a ticket, and he says I have to leave through the exit to go to the lift. At what point do you improve your process to make it easier and better for people with disabilities? Ah, lift.
Yeah.
Perfect.
When you go upstairs, you turn on the left.
Yeah.
You enter into the theater, and there is the entrance. So you follow.
Perfect. Merci. Or grazie.
Grazie.
The lift is very small. I'm only just fitting in here with my manual wheelchair and power assist attachment. So if you're in a large power wheelchair, it will be a squeeze. And guess what I just found? I found the bathroom. It wouldn't be Europe if the bathroom wasn't out of order. Let's go in here anyway. I mean, it looks pretty functional to me, but it's so small. Like, there is absolutely no way to turn around, and there's a little narrow corridor to enter in here. So, yeah, but the good thing is the door opens outwards. So when it's time to leave, you can literally just back out. Just like that. The theatre is absolutely unreal. It's the most opulent theatre I have ever been in. I've been to the Venice Opera before, and that's amazing. And this is just as amazing. It's really small, but so beautiful. And can you imagine sitting up the top there, looking all the way out there at the theatre? It would be unreal. And I believe that Wicked, the musical, is coming here, right here, to this little theatre. How cool is that? You may need to fact check that, but the chairs are just so cool and so cute. The palace kind of reminds me of Versailles Castle, because it has this walkway that goes all the way around the outside. So you have to go through each and every room to get to the room you want to go to. So the room's huge, big and opulent and beautiful, but not really private, because if you're hanging out in one of these rooms, doing whatever you do, people are always walking in and walking through to get to the next room. And it's only 10 o'clock in the morning and it is hot in here. I wonder how they managed years ago when there was no air conditioning, but I could just imagine with their big thick clothing that they used to wear many years ago, it must have been very sticky and a bit gross getting around. It looks like someone's just had a shower in this bathroom and there is water everywhere and some interesting plastic sheeting around. Not sure what that's for, but these bathrooms look like they were built 30 years ago. They're not bad, it's just not well maintained. So I've just found myself a nice little garden spot here, and I've just pulled out my little napkin of goodies that I might have taken from the boat this morning, and I've got a lovely croissant and a muffin. Stale croissant. The thing about cruise ships is they freeze the food, so it keeps. But croissants are never great when they're frozen and thawed out. They lose their little crispy crunch that they have on the top. But one thing that always holds up pretty okay after being frozen is chocolate chip muffins. It's really good. Very good. But I definitely recommend the Palace. It's a bit bumpy and the toilets aren't amazing, but there are toilets and they are accessible. Hello, how do I come inside?
There is the lift in the corner, the mobility here for with this bike, motorbike.
That's right, you can call this a motorbike.
Ah, motorbike, your motorbike.
I'm restricted to where I can take my motorbike today. I'm right in the heart of Naples now, and the road again is cobblestones, and there's no curb cuts either. So all the pedestrian crossings have a step on either side to cross. There's lots of police around, so I reckon one of them might tell me to get off the road, but it's hard to get off the road when you can't use the footpath. I have arrived at Castle Nuovo Museo Civico. Hello. How do I come inside? Sorry, I only speak English.
Yes, sorry.
Oh,
1 minute, sir.
thank you so much.
So with this ticket, you will see the museum. There is the lift in the corner over there. Okay. Unfortunately, for the King's Room, there are only the stairs.
That's okay.
So I'm sorry because the mobility here for with this bike, motorbikes, wheelchair. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I didn't remember the word. Sorry.
That's all right.
Quite
You can call this a motorbike.
Ah, motorbike, your motorbike. Yeah, that's quite complicated. Okay, so I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's good. So where should I start? Which way should I
From
go?
the museum, the lift is over there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Merci. So according to the lovely gentleman who ran inside and got me my ticket, which is free, I'm restricted to where I can take my motorbike today. But getting to see some is better than none. And I love it how they're open here about what you can and can't see. I feel like I'm back in Japan with all the vending machines everywhere. The only difference between here and Japan is these machines give you coffee. Not sure if I'm going to trust a coffee from a vending machine. All right, I found the lift, and I have no idea where all the buttons go, but I'm just going to ride every button and see where it opens. But I love the lift. It's very 1980s, stopping all stations. There's a lift behind me to this upper level. It looks like it's closed down and stopped working probably about 30 years ago. The castle has accessible bathrooms, not one, but two. And these grab rails, I've never seen grab rails this long before. Look, it goes all the way up to the ceiling, which is really great for tall people. The ramps are deadly. You have to make sure you send it up the ramp. And that was the castle. It was pretty cool. About maybe a third or less you can see with a wheelchair. But also, just to be warned, the entrance is quite steep, so it would be helpful if you do come that you either bring a power assist or bring some help to get up and down the hill. And now I'm heading to a shopping district. There's a big plaza, I think it's called Piazza or something, but just next to here. And I'm gonna go see if I can get inside and have a look at all the shops. I found my first footpath that has nice paving. You can tell you're in the nice section with nice restaurants and nice shops about to come. So I found the shopping area, the palazzo, the mall. However, there's steps to get in on both sides. According to Google, it is wheelchair accessible, but I can't find a ramp anywhere. It's not great for wheelchair users, but it's also not great for people with prams and also old people that can't do steps. Well, my friends, that was Naples. And Naples was pretty great, to be honest with you. Out of all the stops that we've stopped at so far on the cruise ship, this has definitely been my favourite. The footpaths aren't great, but also they're not terrible. They're bumpy, but I can still use them. And it's not too hilly, which is quite good as well. So look, I would definitely suggest to give Naples a go. If you do come, maybe don't come in the hottest part of summer, as it's very hot, 36 degrees, it's stinking, but it's still a fun place to visit. My cruise has come to an end, but I wouldn't say sadly. How would I rate my first cruise experience? Well, from the get-go, I didn't have the best experience. I didn't end up with a wheelchair accessible room, and the room that I got was definitely not suitable for people with disabilities. I got a bit of a problem with my room, and it's not accessible. I'm so happy that the cruise company could organise an accessible room. I can roll into the bathroom. You got no idea how happy this makes me. And there's a sink that I can fit under. The accommodation is pretty good as long as you do have an accessible room. The rooms are spacious, they're easy to move around in a wheelchair. The bathroom facilities are really, really great as well. If you are booking a cruise, it's really important to be selective of the type of cruise you book. The cruise that I ended up on was full of families, kids screaming all the time. Next time that I go on a cruise, I'm probably going to select something more like an adults only cruise or a luxury cruise that is a bit more quiet and chilled out. It's definitely been hard to sleep with people screaming down the hallway at 2 a.m. The facilities of the boat are also pretty good. There's bars and restaurants and heaps of things to do. But things like the swimming pools and the spas are not accessible for people with disabilities. I've just done a full lap around the pool and there is no wheelchair access or ramp access into the pool whatsoever. There's no ramps and there's also no chairlifts to help people out of their wheelchair and into the pool. I was really disappointed at the activities available for people with disabilities at each of the ports. The worst one was definitely Tunisia. Having that there were 72 buses and none of them are accessible for people with disabilities was really, really disappointing. I had to book my own bus, which went to the same places as all the other tourists anyway. And instead of paying €50, I ended up having to pay €250 for exactly the same activities. I was really saddened to see that there were also people with disabilities on the non-accessible bus and they really, really struggled. And I hope that MSC see this video and sort their shit out because this is disgraceful. I'd love to see this cruise company step up the accessibility when it comes to these stops. So people with disabilities can not only enjoy the boat, but they can also go out and explore the destination and be included. Choosing what time of the year you go on a cruise is also very important. Here in Europe, I'm actually going on a cruise right in the middle of their summer holidays. So the boat is completely full. That means there's people everywhere all the time. So it can be really difficult finding some quiet spaces. Even just going to the buffet, it is so loud and so noisy. So if you struggle with loud noises and loud spaces, this cruise might not be for you. Getting around the ship was also pretty easy except for the carpet. I have no idea why they've got carpet absolutely everywhere throughout the boat. And the problem with carpet as well is hygiene. The carpet here was very dirty and very grimy. This is a pretty new ship, but it's already quickly showing signs of wear and tear. When booking a cruise, it's also important to think about the weather. It's currently about 36 degrees every day here in Europe, so it's very hot to be out on the deck and sunbaking. It might be ideal to look for weather around 28 to 32 degrees and try to book your cruise during the season or a time of the year that's a little bit more comfortable. How would I rate my first cruise experience? I rate my first cruise experience 2.5 out of 5 stars. If you've been on a cruise before, I'd love to know what your experience has been. And some cruises are definitely more accessible than others. So if you've got some tips and tricks to share, pop them in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on my first cruising adventure, and together we can not only wheel around the world, we can cruise around the world too. It's not over yet. I have just rolled off the boat. I'm back to where I started, where it all began. Part of me was kind of wishing that I jumped on the Virgin boat, not the MSC boat. But hey, it was still a pretty fun time. And it was great to experience going on a cruise ship for the very first time.
After a difficult experience, I was trying to remain optimistic about my time on the cruise until MSC gave me another reason not to be.
Hello, how are you?
Great. I booked a ticket.
Marseille shuttle bus, this one.
Is it wheelchair? It doesn't look wheelchair accessible.
Let me see. She will check with them.
So I booked and paid for a bus to take me into Marseille to the city centre. And I checked yesterday to see if it's accessible. There's 4 steps to get on. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. I bought a ticket yesterday to go onto the bus. Do you not know if it's accessible or not? Are you not aware?
Let me check now if we have now in the line, because some of them are already in the town. Okay? Just
Okay.
a second, please.
Yeah. There it goes. It's going. They sell you a ticket to a shuttle bus that is not accessible for people with disabilities. Well done, MSC. Well done. They're all the same. They've all got steps to get on. So I was told yesterday the bus is wheelchair accessible. Is it wheelchair accessible? Can I get on the bus?
Can you climb?
No.
No, not at all.
No. So I can't.
No, I'm very sorry.
How does no one know this? Like yesterday I went to the information centre. It's important for you guys to know which
Yes.
are and are not accessible. So how do I get a refund on my ticket?
I will just take, if you don't mind, I will just take the ticket and I will refund it, okay, sir?
Okay.
Are you disembarking today?
Yeah. This is me disembarking.
So you already closed the account?
Done.
But this is not for disembarking people, actually.
But I got told this is how I get into the city.
So I go to double check with my manager, sir, okay? How we can... Yeah.
Okay, so let me know something. If I can put you in my private car, I can go with you?
Yeah.
It's just you and I.
Yeah.
I can drop you wherever you want, my friend.
Perfect. I appreciate that.
So if you want, just wait for me 15 minutes. I go to send all this excursion,
All right.
and I will be with you in 15
Sounds
minutes.
good. I'll wait. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. The lovely guy who is helping people getting on the buses has offered to give me a lift into the city in his own personal car. And it's really, really hard. Once again, MSC, they don't even know what is and isn't accessible. The lady yesterday sold me a ticket to the bus saying, yeah, it's accessible. And this cruise company really needs some disability training, like critically needs training. And it needs to just make things more inclusive. Watching all the buses leave one by one, taking people to the city, day adventures, and all of them are people without disabilities. Just thinking about all the people that are still on the boat that have disabilities, that they just stay on the boat because they're afraid that this will happen. And it will happen. Yeah. So what's the deal with all the buses? Because none of them are a wheelchair.
The ship has to ask to us for the bus service, the ramp.
So, is there a reason why there isn't more buses for wheelchairs? Because if there was more, it would make things so much easier.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but you have to know like that depends on the ship.
So if the cruise company asks for ramps, then you give them ramps.
Yeah.
Wow, if it wasn't for Andreas putting me in his car to give me a lift, I don't know how I'd get to the city considering there are no accessible buses. I've now made it into the city and yeah, ready to continue my journey.